Yeah. Good.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2025 Chaves County 4-H and FFA Fair Dairy Goat Show. If you would please stand for the national anthem. Class 3 to the gate, please. Class 3s to the gate.
Mine's always on silent. I don't talk to people. Not a very long walk around.
Okay, so good afternoon. We started our dairy goat show here at Chaves County Fairgrounds here in Roswell. It's really a pleasure to be here. This is our junior show, junior class. These are 3 or 4 months old. One is the Nubian cross doe here at the head, the Lumia La Mancha, and then a full Nubian. 2 really nice does as far as in body capacity. Really love the conditioning that we have on these 2 doelings. What I'm doing is I'm placing them as you see them stand. Josephine's doe, the black one, will be first. Emmett's doe, the cross, will be second. In this placing, I'm going with the general appearance. And our young does, general appearance is 55 points on the scorecard, and that's the structure, how they're put together, how they move, how they walk. This little doeling just tends to be a little more uphill statured as she travels around the ring on the move. Nice level top line, particularly back in the rump area. And then when you put your hands on these does, she's a little more open-ribbed in dairy strength. So that's the next kind of category. We will yield, however, to the depth of body and body capacity back here to the second place doe. She's nice and deep at the point of elbow. She has a lot of width in the chest floor, and she is the more body capacity individual at this time. And again, a really nice sharp angular doe, just not quite as level in that top line today. We know they're going to change over the years as they grow, but for right now, 1/2, we have the general appearance and dairy advantage over my second doe with the body. Thank you very much. We're going to bring this doe back in a moment. Congratulations.
Results for Class 3, first place, Josie Pirtle, Shepherd's Flock with Padme. Second place, Emmett Pirtle, Shepherd's Flock with Buttercup. Please bring your Class 5s to the gate. Class 5s to the gate. Our judge today is Mr. Dan Laney from Oroville, California. He is a past president of the American Dairy Goat Association. He has he has been a licensed ADGA judge for 47 years. He's raised Nubians, La Manchas, Saanens, and had national champions in several breeds. Mr. Laney also currently volunteers in Nepal with the village goat farmers and the village school students. Please join me in giving Mr. Laney a warm welcome. Showmanship classes will immediately follow the Dairy Goat Show. If you are a booster or a pre-booster and would like to participate, you can sign up and get a number on the west end of the show ring.
Okay, so these are our milking classes, starting a milking class division. These are 2 yearling milkers, both first fresheners, of course, and they both freshen approximately the March time. It's a really close place in between these does. I have to say that right now, and we're looking at them as they are in the ring, the capacity and memory system does lie at this second place doe. She just has a little bit more fullness to rear udder. She just has a little more capacity in the memory. Both these does, however, have really nice teat placement when viewed from the rear and the side, and they have nice overall area of udder support to keep those memories right where they should be. So I'm going with 1/2, and in this class what I'm going with is staying with the general appearance. She's just a longer boned animal. She has a little longer, she's not as level, but she has more length from hooks to pins. And the reason we look for this length in the rump area is because it's like a roof over the udder. If they're longer here, then the more chances of their having a longer udder when they subsequently freshen down the way. And what happens is the weight of the memory system is going to bring this rump down. And so while she's not quite as level right now, perhaps, there's not a great deal of difference. I think that she has a little greater length in that rump, which is going to make it a bigger roof whenever she starts to freshen down the way as a second, third freshener. Coupling that general appearance advantage with the body capacity she has, 1 is going over 2. Slightly advantage in tracking. She does track a little bit more correctly with those toes, a little more forward as they travel around the ring. But they're both really nice, smooth blended does, and again, very well presented. Thank you so much.
Class 7 to the gate. Results for Class 5. First place, Maisie Pirtle, Shepherd's Flock, Rosie. Second place, Molly Pirtle, Shepherd's Flock, and Poppy.
Okay, that's what. Okay, so we have a first freshening 2-year-old doe here. Again, this is a doe that has a very nice memory system as far as structurally. When you see the medial suspensory ligament, that's the division down the halves of the memory system. We like to have a little bit of a floor that's like a W in a sense, but not excessively so. Kind of like a little 2 loops here with the medial holding that udder up in the middle, and then the overall area of attachment, which keeps the memory firmly in place, again, as they subsequently become more capacious in that area. And this doe has a nice strength of medial. She has a nice width to rear udder attachment as well. And coupling that with a really nice depth in the heart, she's a very smooth blended doe and has nice short pasterns. There's a lot of really nice correctness about her, and we want to give her a blue and congratulate her for first place in this class.
First place for Class 7, Emmett Pirtle, Shepherd's Flock, and Annie. Please bring Class 8 to the gate.
Okay, so this is a 3-year-old third freshener. One of the things um, that I've noticed in this particular doe that is something worth mentioning is we do have a little bit larger knees than we kind of like to see in these animals. I'm not sure if it's from something we call CAE or not, but it does tend to affect the knees. Sometimes it's merely because they're a little shorter in their cannon bone and there's a lot more stress on the knees. But that's something that you could, we can discuss later. But looking at the rest of the doe here, she is a third freshener. One of the things that I really admire about this doe is, again, the nice width in the rear udder, the placement of teat and udder floor. They're really nice and perpendicular, which makes it an ease of milking. Is what we're talking about here when we have a utility doe as well as a doe that we want for meat and milk. It's a really good doe for this purpose. She has a nice capacity of mammary system, long level top line doe with a lot of dairy strength. So we're going to give her a blue, we'll bring her back.
Class 8 results, Josie Pirtle, Shepherd's Flock, and Patches. Please bring Class 9 to the gate.
Are there so much that's after this? Well, you only have them in 8 groups. Nothing going on. I know. I mean, I do, but I'm not gonna. Well, it's mostly action. Eye round. But it's not. Can you hear me?
Okay, this is a 4-year-old third freshener March. This is typical. The goats get into a ring. They're I call it wetting down the ring for us, but they just are in a different place. They're maybe a little more comfortable or they're a little more nervous. Whatever it could be, that happens quite a bit. But this doe is certainly a doe that you could talk a lot about. In the nice level top, particularly from her withers to her hips area. She has a lot of depth of body. What we really like to see, and this doe shows that, is this point of elbow. It's always best if the point of elbow is higher than the chest floor. And one of the reasons is because the whole front assembly of the goat is not joints, it's all tendons and muscles that keep those shoulders, the front legs all attached to the body. And the more they have to be able to go against the body, the better it is. So they walk better, they just live longer. This doe is a really nice doe in that front end assembly, a lot of width in the chest floor. 4-year-old third freshener March, nice and wide from thurl to thurl and just having a nicely attached mammary system. Another blue ribbon.
Results for Class 9, first place, Maisie Pirtle, Shepherd's Flock, and Rona. Please bring Class 10 to the gate. Boosters and pre-boosters, this is your last chance to sign up for showmanship. Your numbers and the sign-up sheet are on the west end of the ring.
Yeah, exactly. No. Well, I'm pretty girl beginner, so I kind of. But yeah. Yeah. Pack all over Sean, like they do me. Yeah. Problem is, when I sit there.
I'd just like to say thank you for your patience over here as spectators. We're doing a little more chatting than we would normally do in a show. We had just have a small show today, actually a single family exhibitors. And I'm just kind of making it a more of an informal educational experience than just a straight here, 1, 2, 1, 2, whatever. So we're about done, but that's kind of why we had a little bit longer delay. Again, with this particular doe, this is a 6-year-old, fifth freshener, and she's a very nice deep-bodied doe, a lot of spring of rib on this individual, a nice level top on the move. And again, has a nice productive mammary. What I'm feeling in the udders, there's a nice texture to the mammary system. These seem to be all very well hardworking, milking does. And while we'd like to see maybe a little more capacity, it's hard. They've been fresh since March. There's a lot of factors that go into it. They're in a strange place right now. But again, a really nicely put together doe. I'd like to see her again a little cleaner in those knees, but certainly a very hardworking individual. Thank you for bringing her out. We're going to bring all of our first place animals out. Is that right? We'll kind of see how they stack up at that time.
Class 10 results, Molly Purtle, Shepherd's Flock, and Peppermint. Please bring your first place class winners to the ring. First place winners to the ring.
Okay, so this is for champion lineup. What I'm going to have you do, if you would please, now we're just going to make another circle, small circle around. I'd like to see them one more time moving and then stacking them back up in the middle of the ring this way. So just take them around. Let's try to get them all moving so we can see them on the move. General appearance. The way we work this in the scorecard for dairy goats is we're not going to count the little kid hits a little different scorecard. But for milking goats, we start with 100%, and then we have divisions of 35% goes to the general appearance. That's form and function. 35% of the scorecard goes to the memory. Keep walking them, please. 35 goes to the memory system. 20% is dairy strength, and 10% is body. And that's kind of how we go, and then we just have all the little subcategories, but that's it. With the little doe here, it's 55% for general appearance. And then it's the dairy strength and body is higher as well. We're going to walk them on around and straight up the middle. Just take them right up the middle. So out here at this time, we have a 6-year-old with 5 freshenings. We have a 5-year-old with 4-year-old with 3 fresh. Yeah, 4-year-old with 3 freshenings. We have the, no, let's see, no, that's the 4-year-old with 3, stop. 6-year-old with 5, 4-year-old with 3, 3-year-old with 3, the 2-year-old first freshener, 1, the yearling first freshener, and then our intermediate kid, which was a March or April Dolly. So we're looking up and down the line here. Comparing these does, there's some trade-offs as there are in all the animals that we look at. We have this nice little yearling I'll start off with. She's dairy. You can see that openness of ribbing just as the shadows on her ribbing is. She's flat bone. She just needs some more lactations. Needs a little bit more width in the chest and depth, and we see that in the 2-year-old. You're starting to see a little more chest and development in the brisket. Again, a nice little more depth there at the point of elbow, down in spring of rib. This long level top line doe, that's the 3-year-old chocolate doe, the 3rd freshener. She has a really nice height to rear udder. The other thing we like to do is we like to have what we call a 1/3, 1/3 udder, and that means that a third of the udder is in front of the leg, a third of the udder is behind the leg, and then a third of the other udder is behind in the back of the leg. But she has a nice, you can see the udder behind the leg as well. Then we have the 4-year-old with a nice width to rear udder, and the older doe, the 6-year-old, as again, deep, level, and very squared off. Putting all that together, today the champion of today in this lineup, in my mind, is going to go to that 3-year-old. She's a 3rd freshener. She has a nice uphill stature on the move. She's dairy, long level top line, and again, a beautiful memory. So the 3-year-old doe is going to be my champion. You can bring her over here, please. Bring her on out. That was a single entry or single entry? Congratulations. What's your name? Eli. Okay, Eli, nice to meet you. My son's named Eli as well, but that has nothing to do with the beautiful doe you got there. Congratulations on your winning doe. We'll take her off to the side. Thank you. We're going to go down the line. We're going to have reserve overall, third overall, fourth overall, fifth overall. Ooh, okay, so everybody's going to, almost everybody's going to get something. So that moves this doe up. We now have left for a reserve champion, the 6-year-old, the 4-year-old, the 2-year-old, the yearling, and the young doe. In this particular competition, I'm going to go up to the doe at the head of the line, the 6-year-old doe. Again, she just is really nice and level. If you look at that levelness and general appearance, nice angulation of rear legs, a little forgiving of those knees. She has a nice depth of body. And again, 5 freshening, still a nicely put together mammary system. So that 6-year-old doe is going to become our reserve champion today. Congratulations. Another, hey, there you go. This is it. You just scoring up one side and down the other. Congratulations. And again, I want to tell these young exhibitors, having raced goats for many, many years, like about 200, I know the time it takes to get them ready for a show like this. These does are all really clipped well. They just really look very well presented, and that takes that effort to keep them in milk. Also, down here in New Mexico since March or April, they all have nice udders. Having said all that, now we're going with our, our third. So the third one's going to go to the 4-year-old. She has that nice up level top, blends smoothly neck into withers. Again, 4 years old, third freshening, beautiful front end assembly, nice straightness of forelegs. She's going to be my third top doe. Congratulations to you and the doe. Okay, so now we have our second top doe. I'm going right down the line. The 2-year-old doe, just a little stronger and more level in the chine, loin area. 2-year-old first freshener. She's going to be our fourth, and then we're going to go right down here to our fifth. So fourth from the top, fifth from the top. This again is for the body, the levelness and top line, and again, just a little bit more uphill stature. I love the length of body we have on the fifth from the top doe. We wish this little one all the best as she continues to grow. She could top them all before long, you know that. Have hope. Okay, so Ryan, we've got a couple more things I think we have to do in our dairy classes, don't we? Yeah, there's a couple more groupings.
Yes, we have a
The champion dairy goat belongs to Josie Pirtle and Patches. Reserve champion dairy goat, Molly Pirtle and Peppermint. Third overall, Macy Pirtle and Rona. Fourth overall, Emmett Pirtle and Annie. And fifth overall, Maisie Pirtle and Rosie.
Okay, so this is dam and daughter. And so we, in this particular competition, have the dams on this side, on my right as I look towards them, and the daughters on the left. In these pairs of does, what we have is we have a 5-year-old, no, excuse me, a 6-year-old with 5 lactations up there as the dam, and then her, this was the 2-year-old, a yearling daughter. 6 and yearling. Then we have the 4-year-old and the 2, she's also the yearling, thank you, right? This one here, this is a yearling? Yeah, okay, 4 and 1, that's what I thought. And then we have the 3 and the intermediate kid. So there's some trade-offs up and down. We have a pair with the champion with the non-milking kid. We have a pair of milkers here. We have a pair of milkers there. Today, I'm going to go just as I see them with the mammary systems when viewed from the rear, just a capacity, strength and medial. I'm going to go to the pair over here made up of the 6-year-old and her daughter, just a really consistency of type on those pair. And the daughter's a little cleaner in those knees as well, which is a plus. So that will be our first place dam and daughter group. Mammary system, overall area of udder support, nice body capacities as well. Just a really uniform pair. Then we're going to go here because we have a doe that's just really nice and deep and wide, and also a pair of milking does showing us the total picture. So they're going to get a little extra credit. So this 4-year-old and her daughter will be our reserve or second place. And then coming down to the champion and her daughter as third place today.
First place and champion dam and daughter belongs to Molly Pirtle with Peppermint and Poppy. Second place, Maisie Pirtle with Rona and Rosie. Third place, Josie Pirtle with Patches and Padme. Please bring your breeders trio to the ring. Breeders trio to the ring.
Okay, so this is a single entry and breeders trio. Again, this is a group that could stand some competition and do well. They're all in milk. They all have really nice medials that delineate the udder here in the halves of the mammary system. If anything, I'd like to see this doe with the udder, the teats a little bit more beneath the udder and have them coming down to here. However, what happens sometimes is whenever they get fuller as they progress in age and have a larger capacity, it shifts the whole direction of that placement of teat. They're really nicely delineated, nice strong does of body capacity, well deserving of their blue ribbon. Congratulations.
First place and champion breeders trio belongs to Emmett Purtle, Shepherd's Flock, with Rosie, Poppy, and Patches.
Okay, so one more announcement to kind of bring everybody to speed. We do have, the final competition will be showmanship. Now, we normally break it into different age groups depending on, who's here. Today, because we have 4 exhibitors total, there will be different age groups in the 4. I'll eventually place them in their respective age group. But with showmanship, it's really nice to have a number of people out there so you're sort of competing with somebody else and not just going through certain maneuvers that we ask them to do solo. So we're going to go ahead, have all 4 exhibitors, even though there's an age span. Then we'll break them out into their respective age groups when we do the final placing. wanted to thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure here coming down and judging here in Roswell and meeting these young people here today. And I just hope that your Dairy Goat project not only continues, but it excels and gets larger with the passing years. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Appreciate all the work. Appreciate Ryan and my beautiful announcer here. Thank you so much. All right, here you go.